22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel.
Ew. There he is, orange, whatever the flip, Caligula, at that rambling disaster of whatever in Congress the other night. And in addition to taking advantage of kids with cancer, well, he himself has canceled all federal cancer and disease research. He and his MAGA cult went to favorite MAGA heart plucker, the case of Laken Riley and her undocumented immigrant killer. My name is Suri Crowe, and you are watching the MeidasTouch Network. Make no mistake, what happened to the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student was horrible. It was a violent crime, and the perpetrator is in prison where he should be. But Trump and MAGA Republicans pretending to care about women, and specifically white women only, by weaponizing immigrants as the root of all evil is bloody shameful. Further, if immigrants are the problem, then why did the Trump administration allegedly twist the arm of the Romanian government to let the Tate brothers, who have dual citizenship in the US as well as the UK, out of the country for charges of child rape and human trafficking?
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
Trump and his boys seem to be importing accused violent sex criminals now. How's that for safety, ladies? You gonna seat the Tate brothers next to Melania, Barron, and Laken Riley's family at the next Thought You? I caught this clip on Don Lemon's show, which is great, by the way, and I thought that his guest that he had on after that, whatever State of the Union congressional address was spot on. Her name is Reese Colbert.
Speech, it was mostly weaponizing white women against the country with the Laken Riley Act and really milking that for all it was about. You know, almost every single guest that Donald Trump highlighted was a woman who is either a grieving mother, a grieving widow, or something like that. And I think we're going to see the weaponization of white women's pain against all of us, unfortunately. And it's going to be to their detriment, because this administration and the Republicans have nothing in store that's going to actually benefit us, but they're making it seem like they are the protectors of women. And that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, more division, more dividing, more trying to take white women over to their side. And it's just horrible. And by the way, this is the same Donald Trump who reversed Biden's Violence Against Women, Women's Act last time he was in office. This is the act that expands the rights of sexual assault victims against their abusers. In fact, President Biden was one of the co-authors. He wrote that when he was vice president, and I'm waiting for Trump to reverse it once again. Republicans, along with the help of some side-switching Democrats, which I have called out, by the way, on some social media platforms, passed the Laken Riley Act, which can deport undocumented immigrants who have simply been accused of a crime. So no due process, which is what our justice system is based on. Remember, innocent until proven guilty. No conviction, just I'm accusing you because you're black, brown, you look shady, I don't like you. Boom. Under this law, you can be deported. It's also likely unconstitutional because it allows states to sue the federal government over immigration policies, and we already had laws to this effect. The Laken Riley Act is just a bullshit, racist show for MAGA Republicans to pretend they care about women, and it's exploiting this young girl's horrible murder. They don't care about women, and especially women of color. And here is proof. Listen to MAGA fool Congressman James Comer shut down Representative Ayanna Pressley as she lays out the case that U.S.-born Americans actually commit more crimes than undocumented immigrants do.
Proceed.
I'd like to seek unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, and I'll do this as a survivor of sexual violence myself. This is from Courts, March 2018.
Without objection, so ordered.
Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born
Without objection, so ordered. We've put it in the record.
I haven't entered it.
You have what?
Mr. Chair, can I have several articles. I need to enter them. Let me just go ahead with what the articles are. What they speak to.
What's the next article?
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee
you can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
I'm reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No. Ms. Presley, I have been very accommodating to you. Mr. Subramanian,
and I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will enter into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No. It is Mr. Subramanian.
Mr. Chair.
No, you know the process of unanimous consent. You are not recognized.
I have several articles to enter into the record.
Mr. Subramanian, if you don't go, we're going to recognize Mr. Timmons.
I mean, that is just some blatant white supremacy and misogyny in action. And I mean, it's shocking to hear, but we shouldn't be shocked. And that is what James Comer and the rest of his freaking bigoted white supremacist MAGA cult stand for. And by the way, she's right. And here is the proof. It's true. U.S.-born Americans do commit more crimes, according to the data. Now, let's run through the Trump Sex Predator Hall of Fame, shall we? In addition to being an adjudicated rapist-in-chief himself, Donald Trump has appointed Pete Hegseth, a credibly accused sex predator, to run the Pentagon. This is the day-drinking guy who admitted that he paid off his Republican female accuser to keep her from pressing sexual assault charges against him. Oh, and under Trump, the military has currently frozen sexual assault prevention training because of DEI. Remember, they threw out the word woman and anything else. So in fact, this administration would rather root out DEI than prevent sexual assault. That's how much they care about women. They don't give a flying fuck about us. I'll tell you that much. And then there's Trump's first pick for Attorney General, good old Matt Gaetz, who, according to the Republican House report on him, engaged in sex with a minor, violated House rules, statutory rape, illicit drug use, amongst multiple other violations. But that was Trump's number one pick to run the Justice Department. Does that sound like a president who gives a shit about women? Doesn't to me. Oh, and let's not forget the Republicans led by lying MAGA Mike Johnson, who wanted to subpoena former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson until one of Johnson's aides revealed to him that might be a tad bit embarrassing for the speaker, because so many Republican members had apparently sent sexually harassing text messages to Hutchinson. So Speaker Mike Johnson decided to peel back on that idea to subpoena this brave young woman who stood up in front of the J6 committee.
That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety.
What was that, Mr. Trump, about criminals threatening public safety?
Long story short, I'm in Miami, motherfucker. I ain't Romania. I ain't jail. I ain't fucking England. I ain't all the places all the haters said I was gonna be. I'm chilling. I'm cool. What's the problem? I'm dancing. I'm handsome.
And we're having a good time.
I am. You're not dancing.
So please miss me with your "we care about women" spiel, Republican Party, because you do not. Your exploitation of white women's pain is vile. It really is. Speaking as a white woman, the Republican Party loves to divide white women against everybody else. They've tried to convince us and my white sisters that having rights over our own bodies is a bad thing, even if our very lives are at stake, even if we're bleeding out in a hospital room, that it's best if we don't have control over our own bodies. They have tried to convince us that equality is a bad thing. They have tried to convince us that black and brown people are bad, that immigrants are bad. That is how they have maintained their control, their white supremacy, and their patriarchy over us. And I am fucking over it. I didn't realize how much women were hated in this country until 2 incredibly brilliant, qualified women were passed over for a vile sexual predator who lies every time his mouth opens and has now set us up for a possible World War III. So I'm going to direct this to my Republican white female sisters. Do you honestly feel safer for yourself and your daughters and your nieces and your sisters with the Tate brothers back here in these United States and with their legion of young men followers? I mean, they have millions of followers who think that their misogyny and violence against women is a great thing. And look who's in the White House. You feel safer? Come on now. I don't know. I sure as hell don't. Anyway, that's all I've got today. But remember, righteous anger is a good thing. I'm out here in these streets and I hope that you will join me. We have the right to be angry. This is some serious bullshit. This is a war on us against humanity and against equality. And I'm going to fight back like hell. And I hope that you will join me too. Okay? Thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. I'll see you there. Peace.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.